Hey, welcome to the second episode of Behind the Screen. Today or tonight, we are talking about website best practices. So, in each episode, one of us will be quizzing the other one on a particular topic. Tonight, I'm quizzing him on websites. So,
we'll see.
What is Weebly?
Weebly. It kind of sounds like that robot from Flubber.
What was the name of that robot?
I think it's Weebo.
Weebo.
Weebly is Weebo's little sister.
I like it. It's not a robot. That's. It's
Weebly.
I guess kind of close because robots, technology. So Weebly is a somewhat popular website platform that a lot of beginners like to use, but I actually tell people not to use it because it's not very reputable. It doesn't have good SEO. It doesn't look good. It's not totally responsive. So, when you resize a browser on your screen, when you do that with Weebly or Wix, which is another platform, it will just cut off. There's your logo and it just gets hidden.
That's dumb.
So it doesn't look good.
No.
And so I always recommend that business owners either use Squarespace or WordPress because your website is the face of your brand. You want it to look professional. You don't want half your website to disappear. A lot of us really depend on good SEO to turn up in search results.
Quick question.
Yes.
For viewers that don't know, what is SEO?
Search engine optimization.
Boom. You show up in Google.
So, when you, if you, let's say you bake cakes, when people type in, cake decorator or cake, I don't know if anybody searches cake baker, but, cakes in Atlanta, you want to be able to show up. You don't want to be on the third page because no one's clicking over to the third page.
Only if you haven't found what you're looking for.
Only if you're really, really bored. So that leads into my next question.
Okay.
What is a bounce rate?
And
it's not how often Weebo bounces.
Well, it kind of sounds like how long maybe people stay on your website or something?
Yes.
Okay.
So a bounce rate, it's calculated by a percentage. So it's if someone comes to your website and they just look at one page, whether it's a blog or your homepage or whatever, and they don't click anywhere and then they just leave. Okay. Then that decreases your bounce or increases your bounce rate. Sorry.
Okay, so a higher bounce rate is
bad.
No bueno.
Yeah, higher is bad.
Okay, so not golf scores here.
No, so you want a low bounce rate.
Oh yes, golf scores.
Because you want people to stay on your website, obviously, because that is when they're gonna buy from you, hire you, share your stuff, all that kind of fun stuff.
So you want people on your website as long as possible.
Yes.
Okay. And does that help with SEO?
Yes, because Google will see wow, a lot of people are going to this website, to this blog post, but then a lot of them leave. It's kind of like when you walk by a restaurant and no one's in there.
Or everybody looks at the menu and then leaves.
Yeah, and you want people to stay there, and because if you walk by a restaurant and no one's in there and it's rush hour. Okay, well, clearly we're not going to go eat there. And so Google's if all these people are leaving, either the website's bad or this blog post it's a clickbait title or something like that. But the reason that this relates to Weebly is because, like I said, it's not fully responsive. And so if you have, how many times have you pulled up a website on your phone and it's the text is a centimeter tall?
Oh, if it takes more than 2 seconds to load, I'm off of it.
Exactly.
So if there's something remotely wrong with the website.
Yeah. So Weebly is not very fast. It's not totally responsive. So these things will contribute to your bounce rate, which also contributes to your SEO and a good user experience. So some things you can do on your website to, help your bounce rate. Like hopefully you're on Squarespace or WordPress. Like you don't want someone to pull up a page and it look like a textbook. Like, when you open a textbook and it's just like mountains of text there, and it just like your eyes glaze over. You don't want that. You want it there to be like lots of headlines, buttons, graphics. You want it to be interesting. This doesn't mean to say you can't have like a paragraph or multiple paragraphs, but you want to break it up with headers, pictures, all that kind of fun stuff, because that's going to keep them interested and keep them scrolling through your website.
That's awesome.
You can also make sure you don't have pop-ups that are like right away. I mean,
Stop it.
See, he's not even a web designer and he hates pop-ups.
If I have to go up and hit that red X or whatever it is, I'm just like, I'm probably not even that interested in your site. Now, if I can click off to the side and it goes away, okay. Yeah. But
no, especially
that's not why I came to your site. I came for this whatever article, and then you show me something completely unrelated, or hey, sign up to my newsletter. I want to see what I want to see. I don't want to see your newsletter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So pop-ups in general are not bad. It's the timing of them and how easy they are to exit. Now, some people, like Aaron, hate pop-ups in any circumstance.
That's why Google is starting to downrate people with pop-ups, right?
Well, pop-ups on mobile, because it's so hard on mobile to escape.
Yes.
There's different kinds of pop-ups and welcome mats. That's another kind of, it's like a pop-up, but it slides down your screen.
That would annoy me even worse.
It's really bad on desktop. It's really bad. Like I'll be coming to a site and all of a sudden my screen just boom, like will move.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I want to.
There we go. This thing follows you as you scroll up. It's like stupid advertisement. Go away.
So pop-ups in themselves are not bad. I have a pop-up, but it's timed. So once you've been on the site for a little while, then it will come up, and it does not appear on mobile. Okay. It's only on desktop. Yeah. And I tell people all the time, like, you can just embed a form, like, in your sidebar, at the top of your site, in your footer, at the bottom of a blog post. Like, there's tons of places, so you don't have to have a pop-up. But
Aaron's recommendation, don't do it. But I'm not the website person, so.
You could try and listen to them, but,
it's easy to try.
Which one of us are you going to listen to?
It's easy to try.
So, but having a pop-up can increase your bounce rate, because people are like Aaron, like, nope.
Bye,
Felicia. So, that's another thing. Making sure your site loads fast. So don't upload like 10 megabyte pictures, like the file size. You want them to be small, compressed. Yeah. If you don't have Photoshop, there are free tools out there you can compress. I know, like, photographers and wedding planners, or really like anyone in the wedding industry, they really love high quality pictures, which makes sense. Like, it's beautiful work, the detail shots, all that stuff. But I'm like, no one's going to look at it
if your site doesn't load.
If it takes 5 seconds. Like, 5 seconds doesn't sound that long, but in our digital age, that's a long time.
It should load like that.
Yeah. So just make sure you compress those images for a better user experience, but also so people don't
what size image should it be?
I recommend down to when the file size is in the kilobytes.
Okay.
Or pretty at small. Least, like 1 gigabyte, like, or gig. 1 megabyte, not gigabytes. 1 megabyte. You want 1 megabyte, like at the most.
Okay. All right.
So then you can. It's a drastic difference when you, like, I've changed out like client photos, and there are plugins, like if you use WordPress, there's plugins that will compress it, but it's even better to compress it before you upload.
Okay.
So it really does save space and saves the plugin time, and it's just kind of like saving energy almost.
Okay. And that all will help with your bounce rate.
Yeah, because the site will load faster, so people are more likely to stay. Because, there's been times where I've left sites because I'm like, And any day now.
Yeah, just absolutely.
Any day now. Yeah. But yeah, there's lots of, different things that contribute to a high bounce rate. The one last thing I would say is making sure that you are attracting the right people. So using the right keywords. Okay. Like if I'm writing a blog and you see the title in your newsfeed and it says, how to do this on Squarespace, or like best web design tips or something, and then you go over and it's a pumpkin pie recipe.
It's probably delicious, but no,
it's probably delicious, but yeah. So you want to make sure that you are giving the right content, that you're attracting the right people. Okay. And I mean, that's a drastic difference, Squarespace and pumpkin pie, but you want to be sure that it's not like misleading even in the slightest, because people will, start to read it, they'll click over and they're like, this is talking about...
Yeah, it's clickbait.
Like, this is talking about Pinterest, not Squarespace, know? And so you want to, make sure... So that goes in, again, to SEO, keywords, making sure you're titling things correctly, all that kind of fun stuff. That will help decrease your bounce rate.
Okay.
Pretty simple stuff, but just little things that you can think about. But that is just your little website best practices. We could sit here and talk for 2 hours about best practices, but those are 2 things for you guys to think about. But if you have any questions, let us know in the comments. Otherwise, we will see y'all in the next episode.